Hey, what's up, guys? This is Game by Thrones, episode 4, and this is Zach Throne. This is Chris Throne. And today, we talked to Brett Putz. We had a really good conversation with him. But before we get into that, we want to make sure to tell you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, share the video. That's how we're going to get a lot of buzz around this channel and these videos. You guys kind of word of mouth through social media,
Absolutely.
the people that we know that enjoy this stuff. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. We would appreciate it mightily. And into our guest today, we have Brett Putz, a local legend from Forest City. Obviously, he graduated from there. I think he dropped 50 in a game.
Yep.
His senior year, they made it to the state semifinals at Forest City when they were in 3A.
Yep.
I think they were ranked number 1 or 2 in 3A.
They were number 1 going in.
Number
he was
1
the
going
3A
in.
player of the year.
So, yeah, very storied career at Forest City. Then after that, he went to St. Cloud State to play basketball, had a good career at a D2 up in Minnesota. Then he was an assistant there after his playing days. Then he was an assistant at Wayne State, director of basketball operations at Omaha, an assistant at Highland Community College, an assistant at Chicago State, to where he is now, head coach at the community college of Des Moines area.
And they are on their way to nationals in the interview.
So yeah, he literally, when we sent him the link, he answered it. He's on the bus ride, just got out of Pizza Ranch, I think he said.
Yep.
And, they're on their way to nationals. And where did he say that was again?
Danville, Illinois.
Illinois. So they play Southeast. But we get into that on the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Ooh, Chris is changing. He's changing a tire here. Was wearing a Lake Mills sweatshirt. What is it? Oh. He's got to suck up to our Forest City guest. I'm going to stay in the Lake Mills. Keep repping Lake Mills here. We can't get overtaken with red. But thank you guys for listening, and hopefully you guys enjoy this episode. Episode 4 of the Game by Thrones podcast. We have a special guest, our first non-Lake Mills guest, Chris.
It is true, and my Lake Mills friends are going to hate me because I had to wear my Forest City shirt.
I couldn't be overrun by Forest City, so
Yeah.
I had to wear the Lake Mills.
So I had to put that on. But Brett, we want to thank you for coming on. It's been kind of cool. You're on a trip to nationals, but we know about your Forest City career. Okay, graduated from there. What happened after high school?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me on. I did not realize I was the first non-Lake Mills guest.
Yes.
That's in high school, if you would have ever told me that I would be the first non-Lake Mills guest on a Lake Mills episode or show, I would not believe you there. So I appreciate you guys having me on. But yeah, no, so basically after high school, I went to St. Cloud State up in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and played basketball up there for 4 years. Was a part of some really, really good teams. We played in 3 NCAA tournaments, actually made it to the Final Four. In Division II, they call it the Elite Eight. That's kind of their big thing, because Division II does their national tournament a little bit different with 8 regions. And then those region champions end up going to play at a host site. At the time when we played, it was in Springfield, Illinois, or Springfield, Massachusetts, where the Basketball Hall of Fame was. So it was really, really cool to go out there. First time I've ever had been out to the East Coast, and we ended up making it to the Final Four. Lost to the eventual runner-up, Indiana University of Pennsylvania. And then senior year we made it to the semifinals in the region, with things. And so, yeah, it was a fun career. It was a part of some really good teams, and those are guys that I talk to all the time now and things that way. So, no, it's been interesting. I mean, I could go into a really long spiel about how I got to DMACC, but you just asked about college basketball, so we'll stop right there.
Yeah, no, that's good. I all knew you went to St. Cloud. I was a sophomore when you were a senior. I prefer not to remember the games we played against you guys at that time. But
Chris has been watching them. They're archived on that Google site, and Chris has been watching them recently.
I didn't know that till this year, and there was one time a sophomore Chris had the ball at half court, and Brett's just picked my pocket and went for a layup. It was not a pretty play by me. But yeah, very cool how you got there, and being both college athletes ourselves, like you said, you'll meet some of your lifelong friends in just those 4 years. So that's super cool. Mm-hmm. Now, is Cannon Burridge still an assistant there?
Yeah, no, Cannon is my assistant, and Cannon is a much, much better player than me.
Yeah. He gave me my welcome to JUCO basketball moment.
Yeah, he can do that. He will do that to some people. He still does that to some of our players, so don't feel too bad.
It was a 2-on-1, freshman, thinking maybe I could tip the lob, and that's just long story short, I did not tip the ball away, and shoulders, neck, the whole spiel.
Yeah, well, that was. At least Cannon's like 6'4". If Hal Bateman at 5'10" would have did that to you, who was more than capable.
He was good too.
Well.
Yes. I remember him. They didn't Cannon go? Didn't they go somewhere in Texas or something after DMACC?
Cannon went to play at UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio, down in Texas, and then played professionally for 5 or 6 years, and then got into some player development stuff down in the Quad Cities, and then has been at DMACC for 3 years now, and been a part of some really, really successful programs, obviously here as an assistant too. So
that's super cool that he came back to where he played. That's awesome.
And I'll take the next question. You might have already alluded to it earlier, but we want to know who wins in a one-on-one right now, you or Cannon Burridge.
Oh, no, it's not even close. It's not even close. Not even close. I'll be honest with you, like, I don't even play pickup basketball anymore. I can still make shots, but like I don't even.
Well, yeah, that's never gonna go away.
Our guys still can't beat me in a shooting. Well, I got one guy that I think can beat me in a shooting contest on my team. But I can still make shots. I just don't. The cardio aspect of it right now is lacking. We'll put it that way, fellas.
Oh, so you don't come back to the Forest City Alumni Tournament ever? They just had it this last weekend.
It's been a while. I didn't even know it was last weekend. Nate Toby texted me that he was playing or something like that, and that's why I knew. That's how out of the loop I am, unfortunately.
Nate Toby, a friend of the pod.
Yeah,
Chris's
he
JV coach
my JV
school.
Baseball coach in Lake Mills. Was he in your grade?
Yeah, no, I remember that. Nate was
great
my
guy.
wedding, and we're still pretty good friends. So
that is awesome. That is awesome. I kind of looked at your DMACC bio and kind of where you came from at different colleges, what you did. It said you were a main recruiter for some international players at different spots. Is there a difference, maybe strategically, I don't even know if that's the right word, to recruiting international players compared to the ones in the States?
There's some differences. One of the reasons I had kind of tried to tap into international recruiting is just some of the schools that I had been in, we needed to find a little bit of a different niche. Especially at Chicago State, it's a tough place to recruit, and we felt like we could get some better players internationally than we could in the States. And so the weird part is, like, with internationals, a lot of times it's not as much with recruiting the kids as much as a handler, an agent, and parents and stuff like that. Okay. So, it's a lot of the same. Recruiting is really about a lot of relationships, and international recruiting, especially because obviously those kids are really trusting and taking kind of a leap of faith in you as a coach. With stuff like they're coming across the country, they're coming to a new country, doing all those type of things. So they're really, it's really, really about relationships, and was kind of able to develop some relationships with those people. And, the one thing for me too, I really liked is, I'm not saying that they're more appreciative, but like they value the opportunity a little bit differently because, not everybody over there gets an opportunity to come to the States and play. And so, the kids that I've been fortunate to coach, from international, from Europe and some of those things have been great players and people that I'm still really, really close with. And I know, I've had a couple people just flat out say like, hey, like you helped change my life, and that type of stuff. Just kind of hearing those stories and those things is really rewarding as a coach.
Well, that's super cool. I played with one kid from Australia. He was a sophomore when I was a freshman. And being from small town Iowa,
St. Mary?
Andrew Bolton. Nope, that was
Marymount.
He was right before me. Yeah, I think they were all friends though. But yeah, I played with Andrew, and being small town North Iowa, I mean, I'm not used to a whole lot of accents. So moving in my freshman year, my parents told me to go introduce myself. And I did, and I went back, and they said, "What's his name?" And I was like, "I have no idea."
No,
I was not used to it.
That's the fun. I think that's one of the fun parts about just college athletics in general is just the different people that you meet. that, you know, I mean, no offense, like small town North Iowa, we ain't hearing many Australians or meeting a lot of Australian kids. You know, one of the kids that I recruited is from Serbia. And so like,
Oh, wow.
you know, just some different experiences.
It's a good basketball country.
No,
Yeah,
you're thinking that way, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
Another kid was from Italy. That was interesting, and like he spoke very little English.
Yes.
And so like just some different things there. You know, I've coached some kids from Africa, you know, as well, and just you know, being able to hear their stories and just about, you know, what their countries are like and learning from them is just fun.
No, absolutely. And
that's
we said small town Iowa, but I mean, you start talking about that, and even just being from the state of Iowa, I mean, you're learning so many different things about different people around the world. That's kind of where most of my memories come from, just hearing those stories. That's awesome.
That's what's cool too. Like at Waldorf, the coaching staff that recruited me got fired that summer, so we had a whole new coaching staff. But those guys that recruited me, they were big into German football, so they had a bunch of Germans. We had a Polish kid. We had a couple Brazilians, and those guys, they take advantage, you know, the schooling. They're all good students. They appreciate every opportunity coming to practice every day. They generally just have very good attitudes, and that's what I got out of meeting a lot of those international players.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Next one.
Then next question, what would you say, I guess it kind of goes with the recruiting aspect we've been talking about, what would you say, if there's one quality you could pick for a recruit to have, what would it be?
A chip on their shoulder, to be perfectly honest with you. That's kind of how I was. That's kind of how I really like, and guys that I mesh with really well. Like one of my favorite players that I've ever coached was Kendall Jacks when I was at Wayne State. He was a kid from the Quad Cities, and one of the hardest workers, one of the best kids I've ever been around and coached. And but he just had this gigantic chip on his shoulder because he played on those really good Bendorf teams, and he was like the third or fourth best player on the team, or most known player on the team, and had the second best high school career or college career, in my opinion, behind Nicholas Bear. And obviously Kendall's numbers were a lot better than Nicholas Bear's, different levels. But but you know, Kendall is still playing overseas. And he just had a really, really big chip on his shoulder, worked really hard, was super coachable, just did all the stuff that you would want from a kid. So yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things I would say, is because like I said, I always kind of had that myself, and just kind of relate well to kids with like that. You know, usually those guys are very motivated to put in extra work and to be coachable and those type of things. So
yeah, no, I think I'd relate that to, like, you said motivated, but someone's drive. Like, you don't get bored. Like, you always want to keep getting better, prove people wrong.
There's always something to prove
like
for them.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And I would agree with that. Well, how would you describe, and maybe it can be two ways, your coaching style or how you like your team to play?
Yeah. So I'll answer both of those. So my coaching style is pretty, I'm competitive. Obviously I want to make sure that, you know, trying to make sure that we're focusing on the right things as far as the discipline and details, you know, with things on the defense end, and really holding guys accountable and pushing guys to hold themselves accountable with things. You know, probably in practice, I'm a little bit more intense and emotional than I try to be in games. I'm usually a little bit more relaxed in games. Well, basically because I don't want to, my college coach was like this too. I never want to do anything to show a kid up in a game. And I don't in practice either, but like there'll be some things I'll say or do in practice that I won't do in a game, because of the respect that I have for our players, and want to make sure that, you know, there's obviously fans and different things involved. And so, you know, you want them to be, you know, a little bit freer and looser in games, whereas in practice, like that's when you really, really coach, in my opinion. with things like I've seen guys that were jumping up and down and doing all this crazy stuff during games. Then I've seen them in practice and they're just kind of on the sideline, not doing much. It's like, okay, well, like, are you doing that for show, or is that like actually how you are? And to me, like, I'm the opposite. Like, I'm really coaching you and doing a lot more on the sidelines and involved and active, during practice. And then in games, it's, obviously calling out plays and doing some stuff, but it's just more pacing the sideline, I guess, more than anything.
Just getting
so
them prepared. Yep.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so then as far as how our teams play, we're really, really big on moving the basketball, getting a lot of side touches, paint touches on the offensive end that way. Like, obviously, I like shooting. I like guys that can make shots. But the three things we really talk about on the offensive end is we want to try to get as many layups, free throws, and kick out threes as we can, for our team that way. Those are obviously the three most highly efficient shots in the game. And so we try to do a lot of things to put pressure on teams to get to the free throw line right away. Whether it be driving kicks or throwing the ball into the post. We shot 40% from three as a team on the year, which is really good. And then we usually make more free throws than our opponents shoot. That's kind of the other thing that we really emphasize a lot. So we've been pretty efficient offensively. Defensively, we try to really be gritty, grimy, and tough on the defensive end. We're more of a gap team, and just trying to really force people to take contested twos as much as we can. We kind of developed this thing called the trap, which is basically a trapezoid from basically the backboard out to about the second hash. It's not so much the arc that you see on the college line. It's a little bit more extended. And so we wanted to try to make guys shoot shots from outside of that and inside the 3-point line is kind of our goal with things. And we've done a pretty good job of that this year. Teams shoot about 40% from the field for versus us and 30% from three. So it's been good that way. There's some little things that like to be a little bit better at, but that just is what it is. We try to be the first team to dive on the floor for loose balls, taking more charges than the other teams, just kind of playing harder than other teams. That's kind of the big one. Like, I can't stand when other teams play harder than us, because I just think that that's something that's within our control. And so we try to control the stuff that we can control as much as we can.
So like with your coaching philosophy, it sounds a lot of, how modern basketball has moved, layups, threes, and free throws. How did your coaching philosophy, develop, since even your college days? Because, the game of basketball has moved so much to what you're talking about there.
Yeah, it's developed quite a bit. So one of my best friends is the head coach of the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, Mahmoud Abdel Fattah. So you want to talk about culture shock. Arab from the north side of Chicago. If you would have told me when I was in high school that that would be one of my best friends and he'd be a G League head coach, I wouldn't have known any better. But Mahmoud was one of my college roommates for 3 years, and so he and I talk a lot. And we, working for the Vipers, they're an affiliate of the Houston Rockets, and so they're all about the analytics stuff. Yeah. And so like he and I have talked a ton, and I've learned a ton from him about different things. And I think there's certain things in college basketball. It's different than professional basketball. So I haven't taken everything, but I've taken a decent amount of that stuff and implemented it into just, what I like basketball to look like, I guess.
Right. I think being a Timberwolves fan and having Andrew Wiggins for the longest time, you heard the dreaded long two. And I mean, that was kind of the first time I'd heard of it, and it makes sense. I mean, why would you take a shot a foot inside the 3-point line rather than maybe try to get an extra point just an extra foot farther?
Well, now we have Rosas from the Houston Rockets organization who kind of started this whole revolution.
And in my opinion, being shooters, it's more fun to watch.
It is more fun to watch, aesthetically pleasing. Just moving the ball around, getting a good look.
Yeah,
it's interesting, I mean, like the computers, like, obviously I don't believe in everything that Houston has done, with stuff, but like it makes a lot of sense at the same time. Now, like, you still have to be a basketball player at the end of the day. Like, do I yell at our guys and bench our guys for shooting mid-range jump shots? No, but we coach them up on, like, what's a good mid-range jump shot? What's not a good one? Like, you know, and that's where, like, practice comes into play, you know, and those type of things. So,
yeah, no, there's definitely a game for that, but you're not going to want to be taking those all the time. But yeah, figuring out and perfecting the perfect time for those is the key, I guess.
So the next question that we had marked up was, you're heading to nationals this week. When do you guys head out? But
we figured that out.
Our answer is you guys are heading out
You're
right
on the
now.
bus.
So you guys are getting ready right now.
Yeah, no, we're in Peoria right now. So we play on Tuesday. So we can practice. We have practice tomorrow morning at 11:30, and stuff like that. So I wanted to get out here and kind of get settled a little bit, and then we'll practice tomorrow, and then we play at 3:00 on Tuesday.
Play Southeast from Nebraska. How do you feel you guys match up with them going into the game?
Yeah, I think we match up well. You know, they're a good team. They've got really good size, you know, with things, which is good for us because we have really good size too for a junior college team. So a lot of times, sometimes we'll have to play smaller. This allows us to kind of play our full roster consistently, which hasn't happened in a little while. You know, the biggest thing for us is we just got to make it kind of a half-court game and make it a basketball game, not let it get to be a track meet. We're not really built like that with things. And so just making it a true basketball game, I think, will allow us to be successful at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. I know one of the junior college tournaments when I was at Nyack was in Danville too. Do they have they have a bigger gymnasium is why they get it more often, or just because it's more Midwest, or what?
I have no idea why.
Okay.
I don't know for sure at the end of the day. Because
so I've heard that
Kansas is.
Yeah, I've heard that town, and I don't know why.
Yeah, no, Danville is over right on the Illinois-Indiana border.
Gotcha.
With stuff, so I don't know how or why people get to host the national tournament or whatever. They get certain bids, and it's been at Danville for quite a while.
Okay. Oh, so it is every year.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't paid close enough attention to that to know that, but yeah, I mean, it's got to be a big gym, I guess.
Must be.
Hold people.
Or they're
that's the
donating
thing.
a lot of
Really,
money.
that's the thing. It really isn't that big. It's just just a normal, probably very similar to
Tradition.
Iowa Lake's DMACC size gym. To be honest with you, nothing.
I mean, so no bigger than.
NIAC's, honestly, NIAC's might be a little bit bigger. To be honest.
So no bigger than like Forest City High School. I mean, that's what I remember about.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. That's weird.
Jumping back into high school, what is your favorite memory from high school basketball? Don't say picking my pocket at half court, please.
No. Definitely the Iowa Falls game, to sub-state final game my senior year. That was a fun game, mainly because 2 years ago, my sophomore year, we played Humboldt in that gym, and lost. And so, like, there was kind of weird memories in that gym, and so being able to make some more positive memories was fun. That was had always been our goal, was to go to the national tournament and those type of things, or not to the national tournament, to the state tournament.
Yep.
And so to win that game and be able to go to state was really fun. And then obviously this going and playing at Wells Fargo is another one. But yeah, that Iowa Falls game is something I'll always remember.
Tell that
No,
story.
yeah, I'm gonna jump right to the we had a little teachers get together after school Wednesday, and Coach Rosacker told me that he was actually going to run the final basket for your brother Tyler, but you pulled out a whole Hoosiers line where he told, what was the play? BV is what he called it.
Yeah.
And you just weren't letting your younger brother having the glory, were you?
Yeah. So like Tyler was playing better in that game with things, and so and Tyler I don't remember if he had scored the last 4 or 6 points or something like that. Like he had, he had been playing really well. They had put I think Austin Slaughter was guarding me. Like I had been guarded by a 6'6" guy the entire game. And so didn't have as good of a game necessarily. And so, they're in the huddle and like, I don't even remember. I think they were just going to run like a high ball screen for Tyler or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then like we break the huddle and I just kind of like looked over and I was like, hey, like run BV. I was like, I'll make it. And he's like, okay. And we ran BV and I got pushed a little bit further than I initially wanted to, but hold on. I got pushed a little bit further than I initially wanted to, but it went in. And the best part is on the video, you can't see the rim because of like Fort Dodge, we were filming from way, way up high. And so like you don't actually get to see the ball go in. You just see the fans go absolutely nuts, with stuff. So it was, it's cool. It was cool. That's a special memory.
Was it a buzzer beater or was there little time left? Because I haven't seen this, I don't think.
Yeah, no, there was a little time left because I actually fouled. And like as they're dribbling the ball up the court, I think there was like 8 seconds left maybe after the shot went in.
Okay.
With things. So yeah, it wasn't a buzzer beater. But we ended up getting a stop. The ball bounced around like seemed like 8 times on the rim and didn't go in, and we got the rebound on the other end. So
that's super cool.
That's probably a clip we can find.
I'll say that's
Google.
That is probably on there, huh?
Can you
change the channel? I might have to go do that.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
After this, we're gonna go look for that.
Yeah, like if you look on Forest City's like Google site or whatever, on the I think they still have the highlight tapes from the different years. It's on that season's highlight tape. Okay. I think, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go check that out.
And you want to tell the next story that Dan told you about with Brett?
Yeah, so this one isn't as cool of a story for you, but he claims that UNI team camp in overtime there was sudden death, and you tried to score in the wrong basket, and your brother like tried to hold like Jackie Moon and not let you score.
See, okay, so I asked Tyler about this, and he doesn't remember this either. So
weird.
I don't know what Rosaker's talking about.
I'm gonna have to clarify.
What the heck?
Yeah,
he's. It wouldn't be the first time that he's fabricated some type of story.
No. See, what he told me, I was just picturing like Jackie Moon, Vakitis, and
that's
not wanting to give everybody corn dogs.
If that happened, I do not remember that whatsoever. Now, maybe there's a reason why I don't remember that, but yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay.
But you'd think with such like an interesting story, you'd be able to remember it. Like you'd think if it was that big of a deal, you'd be able to remember it.
I'm gonna clarify that.
Yeah,
that's gotta be.
I mean, I got some UNI team camp stories, but not really from any of the games necessarily.
Okay.
That's for sure.
I want to throw this side note question in here. Did you ever attend Dr. Funk's basketball school of basketball?
Yes.
Thankfully, I did not.
I loved that.
He's in your yard.
Thankfully, thankfully I did not. I felt like I was a good enough basketball player to not attend that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it would have made me better at the end of the day.
You needed those fundamentals that he was talking about at his camp. I mean,
Yeah, man. That dude with a video camera, he went through a stage with video cameras that I think even he regrets significantly.
They're hilarious.
That video is hilarious.
It is.
So funny.
Yeah.
What gym was it even in? I work there now, and I don't even know.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, that's the Forest City Elementary gym. So my dad was the elementary principal. So we had access to that all the time. So like,
that makes sense.
We lived in that gym. Back in those days, we could have the keys and just go up there whenever we wanted. Like once we were able to drive, we would just be able to go up there anytime we wanted. The janitors were cool with us, and we obviously knew all of them.
Yep.
We never caused any problems. We just went in the back door of the gym, walked in, and got to work out and shoot and all that type of stuff. So. For a long time, there wasn't really a gym in Forest City I probably couldn't get into whenever I wanted to because of my dad. So
that's super cool. Then, I mean, being a teacher and having the keys and just going to shoot or bring my kids in, It is kind of cool
Yeah.
on a weekend when nobody else is there. So I totally get that.
At Lake Mills or Forest City, right?
Yeah, I can
you
get in
go
both
either way.
places. I haven't gone to shoot in Forest City yet. I didn't
Just
really
stay
shoot
away
very
from
well
there.
there ever. So
Yeah, neither did I.
Don't need to go there. But peak versus peak, you versus Tyler, who wins 1-on-1?
You're going peak versus peak, Tyler.
Peak versus peak.
Tyler was way better. Yeah,
Really?
Tyler was way
Really?
better.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Are we talking like peak
No doubt
just in
about
general or peak high school? And just in general, he was better than you.
Well, see, that stinks. 'Cause Tyler got injured.
Tyler's peak was tough because Tyler had concussion issues.
Yeah.
So Tyler's peak, like playing, never probably actually happened.
Okay.
I was talking, but like either way, like he was the better player at the end of the day.
Interesting. I didn't
See,
really know what to expect to that answer, but
I mean,
being the older brother, I'm surprised he.
I would
It
never
seems that,
admit
yeah.
one of you guys would beat me, but I also don't have a Tyler as a younger
Yeah,
brother.
exactly.
So that's super cool.
I mean, you probably got enough of Tyler growing up playing against him
Yeah,
every
just-
single tournament. And
There was probably the margin of victory leading up to high school was probably in the almost 1,000.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah,
It was not fun. Their team was
their
good.
travel team was pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a bunch of good athletes and stuff like that. Yeah, they were. And the funny part is like that. My team used to be the opposite. Like we weren't very good, and we got better as we got older.
Okay.
With stuff like our first travel team tournament we played Lake Mill or not Lake Mills. We played Clear Lake in the first game, and I swear to God, like all of them were like. We were in fourth grade, so all of them were probably like 5'7". It seemed like they were huge. And then we
That's
got
the
beat
worst.
like 54-9 or something like that. I think like we just got blitzed. And then our very last, I can't even remember. Maybe our 8th grade travel team tournament. Well, shoot, so the district final game we played Clear Lake. And beat them. So like first ever travel team game, it was against Clear Lake, and then we ended like those seniors' high school careers. We were their last game ever, like with Justin Eulenhop and those guys. So
that's an interesting
it's weird
lesson.
how some of that stuff happens.
Yeah.
No, it is.
It's an
Yeah.
interesting lesson, I guess we have a lot of 8th graders because he teaches 8th grade. A lot of 8th graders listening to this.
Shout out to you guys, by the way.
It's a pretty interesting lesson. You can start out in 4th grade getting beat by 50 and end up, beating them as seniors.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a testament to, hard work. And
Absolutely.
it also points to the fact that, when you're little, just learn the fundamentals. It doesn't necessarily matter about winning. I know it does matter about winning.
Of course you
but
want to
when
win,
you're
but
in 4th
yes.
and 5th grade,
Yep.
6th grade, just learn how to play basketball and
Absolutely.
learn different things like that. And eventually you'll end up be like Brett Putz' senior class and be one of the best classes in Forest City history.
Yeah.
That's the recipe. Lose your first game by 50. And then you'll end up
I think
going
I
to
did
state.
that. But, well, maybe not 50. We didn't end up like them.
We've talked about Dan Rosacker multiple times. We called the games for Lake Mills this past year for home games. We have a tremendous respect for Dan Rosacker, so you don't necessarily have to say him, but
I'll make sure he listens to it.
make sure he listens. So regardless, you
Yeah.
want to think about your answer here. Who's the best coach you've ever had? You can name multiple or just one.
Yeah, no, I was really fortunate to play for 2 really, really good head coaches. Really like my high school, college careers. So like in those 2 would probably be the 2 biggest influences, I would say.
Yeah, it's always hard to pick when you're put on the spot.
I mean, but
Absolutely.
coaches can be the best in different ways. And
Oh, no,
obviously-
yes. Yeah. I mean, when you factor in just as a person, as an actual knowledge of the game, yeah, there's
And honestly,
many different ways you can pick.
when you think about your college and high school career, they almost seem like 2 totally separate careers.
Yes.
Like when your high school ends, it feels like that career ends, then you're starting a whole new one in college.
Correct.
So it's kind of,
yeah. Absolutely.
think about those 2 as separate things.
Now, Brett claims he's got some bullets in the barrel for this draft we're going to have.
I think I do too.
So, yeah, we just pulled up the Google site for some oldies, but
Today's draft is going to be, a Forest City boys basketball draft.
and not quick stats era.
Yeah, Brett asked,
gonna try
quick
to
stats
do-
era or all time? And we're thinking all
Should
time.
have said no because then we'd have won.
Yeah.
But the way we'll do it is you'll pick first, Zach will go second. I'll go third and fourth, and we'll snake back through. So, initially when I thought it was going to be one of the top three, just for kids I knew, Brett, Tyler, Eric Erdman.
Yep.
And whoever you guys didn't pick, I was going to end up with three.
The third.
Oh, okay. Well, now my first two picks could be interesting.
Okay. So, first pick of the Forest City boys basketball draft, Brett Putz. You have the first overall pick.
Rob Campman.
Rob Campman. That's the name that I've heard. That I've never got to watch play.
Not even.
We figured.
A question. He is by far the best player. No offense to Eric, because I used to train Eric and stuff like that, and Eric's really, really good. But Rob Campman is the best basketball player to ever come from Forest City.
Yeah, when you said that, and always looked it up, we figured that's who it was. So now, where are you gonna
take him? Because I heard.
Let's be real, it was never gonna be an option.
I know. So, I kind of have a loyalty to Eric Erdman because I played against him a little bit when I was a bench warmer. But also, I got to watch Tyler. I didn't get to watch much of you, Brett. I would think I was in second grade. When Chris was a sophomore in high school. I watched a lot of Tyler. Tyler is really good too, but I'm going to have to stick with my guns, and I'm going to go with Eric Erdman at the number 2 overall pick.
Perfect.
It's a good pick.
I'm just going to go recency. I'm literally just going to go Tyler and Brett.
And Brett, that's a dynamic duo. Holy cow.
I mean, I've witnessed it firsthand.
Hey, I will brag on this one here. So, with your 2 picks, you just won 6 straight NSIC championship or NIC championships. Right there.
Yeah.
So, neither Tyler nor I ever lost.
And how many people are going to be? How many people are going to be listening to this that will remember before that? So
that's true. You got to play to the people too. Yep. You got to play to the people.
So now, who are you going to pick?
So
I don't even know where I'm going to go.
So Zarin Eggestal gave me some names. He said, obviously
Shout out
Campman was one of them. Shout out Zarin. He's created a lot of opportunities for us with KIOW.
Oh boy.
He says David Reese is a guy Brett would be impressed knowing. Haha, really good player.
Wow, okay. You should have just said the name and not.
No, but that's not. I don't want to act like I know who that is. I'm gonna go with Jason Meckelberg. I'm not sure how to say his name, but apparently almost led
very,
FC to the title. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Great player.
I'll take it.
So.
Oh, just FYI, this is a game now. So you guys can have the old guys.
It's a game now.
No.
Firefighter down in Wichita,
okay.
So I think he's
fair point.
And still in pretty decent shape.
Fair point.
So hey, you got the next 2 picks.
Yeah, you got 2 in a row.
Okay, next 2 picks here. I'm gonna go Alex Grunhoff with my next pick. A good friend of mine, my point guard for 2 years, gave me a lot of open shots. I'm gonna have a lot of teammates pissed off at me after the end of this one here. I got to think. So I got Rob. So we're just talking like a full team or like 5 best players. Like
it depends how you want to do it.
The team to be.
Yeah, how you want the team.
You can construct it. Yeah, okay. However you look at it.
Okay. All right. So we got Grun as a point. I got Rob there with it. Shoot.
I don't even know where I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go. So I got Grun. I got Rob. I'm gonna go with Reed Brookoff. I'm gonna go David Reese. I'll go David Reese here as a shooter as well. I need somebody to get some open shots, and David's not afraid to do that by any means.
Now, fun fact: there was an Alex Grunov that was my point guard at Lake Mills. Same exact name.
Same spelling.
I don't even know if they're related, but yeah, kind of cool fact. And I remember Alex from the Forest City Alex.
Oh yeah, I remember
back
that.
in the day.
Yeah,
kind of weird.
I do remember the Lake Mills one for some random reason.
I'm gonna need this.
You need the roster now.
See. So I got my second pick now. My third pick. My third pick. Let's see. This is tough.
I think I know who I'm gonna take, but I'm not positive.
So obviously I already have Eric at point guard. Then I have Meckelberg. I might have to go with. This is tough. I'm gonna go with Kyle Rosacker. Straight shooter. I'm going to take Kyle Rosacker. There's probably a lot of guys that are older that I don't know, but that's okay. I remember watching Kyle Rosacker play.
Yeah, God, yeah.
That's a good pick.
See, that was always the struggle playing the Four City teams. Like,
You collapse on Tyler.
Usually an elite point guard, but you leave one or two guys open and they make it about every time. Yeah.
This is going to be tough.
I need a big guy. So, no idea if he was. I mean, he started for you guys. No idea if he was like very good overall, but the game I watched are the two. For one of my big guys, I'm gonna go. Is it Job Ackerman? Is that his name?
Yep.
I'm gonna go with him just to get a guy in the paint. Seemed like a reliable guy around the basket, and then Jordan True.
Jordan True. Okay.
Just an athlete. Yeah, just an athlete.
It was him and Eric Erdman. They both played really, really well against Trainer.
Yeah, just an athlete overall. Kind of after my first two, I felt really good.
Yeah. This is getting tough. We don't really have that extensive knowledge of Forest City basketball. My fourth pick, I'm going to go with Mike Hilmer. Is that the obviously?
He wanted.
That was my sleeper pick.
Let's go. Okay, thank you, Zarin. But Mike Hilmer, is that the?
Yes.
Imagine cheating on a draft.
Yes. Yeah. Mike Hilmer was going to be my pick, so I could substitute his sons in for him. So I'm sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
If you listen to this.
You guys kind of got Forest City could have had maybe the best team ever for 2A.
That would have
Jake
been
Hilmer
ridiculous.
And Austin Hilmer, and I think there's another one.
If
they would have
they
stayed.
stay. Now, if we want to go that far, Jeff Horner is in Lake Mills.
Technically from Lake Mills. You're
we
correct.
can take that, but yeah, no, the Hilmers are. I mean, I think Jake said about every single statistical record you could set
in multiple sports, baseball and basketball.
Yeah.
Golly.
All right, so Brett gets to finish off his team. Yep.
So 2 straight.
All right, so this is third. This is fourth and fifth picks.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna go with outside the box on my fifth one here, just because they'll enjoy this and to get some fan cred here. I'm gonna go Jeff Jerome for my fourth pick. All right.
Jerome.
Super good athlete. Had a lot of dunks, which we all liked when we were in fourth grade watching Jeff play. And then I'm gonna go Avery Busta, because Avery was like one of my biggest fans growing
I
up.
forgot about him.
Avery Busta was like one of my biggest fans growing up, and so I'm picking Avery Busta.
You should not have forgot about him.
Oh, I didn't forget about him. I was thinking about taking him next.
Yeah,
he was a conference player of the year, I think his senior year.
He was maybe like
I played against him when he was a sophomore.
A very good Forest City point guard, but one that just doesn't get remembered
as much, because obviously
Brett,
Tyler and Eric and obviously
but really Jeff teaches PE in the middle school. I'm going to have to go down and ask him if he can show me a dunk too.
Yes, I think it's been a while since Jeff's probably dunked, but back in the day, you wanted to talk about the athlete.
That is awesome.
I've heard he was really, really good at baseball too.
He went to college for baseball. I know that.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that.
Very
really good pitcher.
All right, who are you going to finish off with, your pal?
I don't know if I want to go for actually cap off my team, because I'm eyeing. Okay, so Coach Putney, Justin Putney, I'm not going to pick you, but he was one of my coaches at Waldorf.
Just
know I considered you,
right away.
Coach Putney. Just know I considered you for a
great
little fan
screensaver.
love. That's what we need. I mean, that's what might be what my team needs. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Sam Snyder, just because I played against him a lot and he gave us a lot of troubles inside.
Sam, that was one I would think. I'm trying to.
Sam Snyder also makes good music, by the way.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he makes music.
He does?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I'll show you a couple songs.
I'm trying to find where you told me which Lambert was better. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Last one, Mitch Lambert.
Mitch Lambert, yeah. He could have been really, really good if I think he broke his leg his sophomore or junior year of football and just never really was as fast again, but he could still ball.
I do remember he was like the same size as Granger in high school, wasn't he?
No, he's
tall,
he's a little
taller.
shorter. No, he's shorter.
Okay.
Yeah, he's shorter.
Okay.
He gave us a lot of.
So yeah, this is interesting.
So hey, read off the teams for us.
So Brett's team is Rob Campman, Alex Grunov, David Reese, Jeff Jerome, Avery Busta, a good mix of old and
That's
recent.
yeah.
Zach's is Eric Erdman, Jason Meckelberg, Kyle Rosacker, Mike Hilmer, and Sam Snyder.
Good team.
And mine is Tyler and Brett Putz, Joe Backerman, Jordan True, and Mitch Lambert.
All three of these teams are very, very good.
When we did the Lake Mills one, if like he said, if you could put these teams like in their peak together, it would be wild.
It would be insane.
It would be an insane.
It would be
game.
absolutely insane.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to have
That's
people
awesome.
vote on that because that's
Yeah.
a little more difficult.
We'll make a
than what
little
we've
poll, and hopefully we can get some Forest City people to see it
Yes.
and give us their opinions.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to broadcast this and see if we can get the hometown opinion. But just kind of going out. I know this has been a little struggle connection wise, but
yep.
we really appreciate you jumping on and just being a local guy that's done a lot and a very good basketball player in high school, going into college, and then moving into the coaching ranks. Somebody that a lot of young kids looked up to. So
He's a local legend.
Yep. This
sure.
is just
Dropped 50
thank you
in
for
a game.
coming on. Obviously, hope you guys do very well. This will air probably tomorrow.
Yep.
So hopefully you guys do very well on Tuesday, that we can follow along and watch your guys' journey at the national tournament.
No, that sounds good, man. I appreciate you guys having me on with stuff, and it'll be a fun experience. That's for sure.
Hey, just always remember, nobody at Forest City got you on a podcast. It was a Lake Mills
It's a
one.
Lake Mills podcast.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, no, this is my first ever podcast too. I'll be honest with you. I listen to them all the time and religiously. This is my first ever podcast. So
Yeah, no, this has been a great time. Yeah, thank
thanks
you
for
very
coming on.
much. Have safe travels to Danville, and we'll follow how you guys are doing.
Thank you, Brett.
All right,
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Peace.
See ya.